and welcome to the Middlemen this beautiful day, the show that delves into the critical issues affecting our country and explores the complexities of the systems that shape our lives. From the economy and politics to social justice and infrastructure, we will be examining the middle ground where different interests and perspectives intersect. Join me as I welcome my fellow jurors, Juror Emeka Madnago, who will be discussing his case titled Import and Die, which emphasizes the need for pressure on the government to put an end to import policies. Also on the show today, we have Juror Innocent Aduluba and his case titled Meranda, Lagos House and Security Aids, which delves into the leadership crisis in the Lagos State House of Assembly, which has resulted in rendering the speaker vulnerable. And I, Joe Olajunwoke James, will be presenting my case titled Trouble Dey Sleep, Babangida Go Wickham, an issue of IBB's biopic that had shed light on political mysteries that are raising controversies and lawsuits. All of those conversations we will have when we return from this very short break. Please stay with us. We'll be right back. And you're welcome back to the Middlemen. My case, Trouble Dey Sleep, Babangida Go Wickham. I was going to read General Babangida's book. I was young when he ruled, but remember the general feeling of displeasure at his dictatorship. I really wanted to know his reasons for annulling the June 12, 1993 elections and the forces that eventually made him step aside. An intellectual lawyer reprimanded me for wanting to read the PDF file of this book. Someone else told me to keep my 50,000 naira, the price of the book, in this T-shege economy and save myself the trouble of the misrepresentations in the memoir. But after watching Barrister Femi Falana talk about his take after he read the book, I had to rethink about my decision. To fight lies, you must have facts. The biopic that was supposed to tell us the truth through IBB's dimming eyes have now opened the Pandora's box. Femi Falana says he will sue the general for incarcerating him along with Gani Fawemi and Bekor Ransom Kuti, the proponents of Campaign for Democracy, who had insisted that MK Abiola won the elections. For Babangida to say the same thing now and even publish the results in his book, it means they were maliciously incarcerated. Femi Falana insists Babangida cannot point fingers at anyone else, particularly Abacha, who is now dead, for the annulment of that election, because it was Babangida who signed the military decrees to support the annulment. Trouble Dey Sleep, Babangida Go Wickham. God rest Fela Nicola Pokuti. He wasn't a fan of Babangida. The Abiola children are asking for compensation. Children of Abiola's colleagues who were indirect victims of that annulment are even asking why any Nigerian is clapping for Babangida and his one-sided truth. Not only did he orchestrate the ruination of the Nigerian currency, he oversaw an 8-year misrule that set Nigeria back by many years and led a junta that killed many citizens who opposed his decrees. What has Babangida gained by waking up trouble? Many think he is riddled with guilt at the twilight of his life. He wants to confess and beg for forgiveness, but no one tells a tale and blames themselves. So rather than let sleeping dogs lie, Babangida's confessions have woken trouble. Some things his children don't know about him may finally come to light. Some are professing that in another few years there may be confessions that Peter Obi won the February 25, 2023 elections. My verdict: if you want history to be kind to you, do the right thing at all times. No matter how you want to color the truth in future, posterity will judge you. Let us ensure we come to equity with clean hands.
That's very interesting. But you can see that by pushing blame for the annulment to Abacha, he has actually, will I say, saved himself from potential lawsuits.
we can't sue you, but you can sue him.
No.
Yes.
Look at what
a dead man can be liable.
Well, to what extent? You must hear in the law there is hear the audi pattern, hear the other side. Yes, alternate pattern. How do you hear the other side? So how do you hear the other? How do you
hear Abacha's side now
when you have not heard the other side? So Babangida is telling you that he was in Katsina when the annulment took place, when the press statement was issued and read. So by his
utterances,
utterances, he has actually absorbed himself of blame. It shows that the man,
remains an evil genius.
No, not a genius. The issue is that, you see, Nigerians need to know one thing today. Many of these politicians are just there for themselves. The annulment actually involved a lot of them. A lot of those parading in power today actually wanted to be a part of Abacha's government, but couldn't get in, and so they negotiated with foreign countries to use the annulment, for leverage. And so, one thing Nigerians should know today is that if you don't die in their war, I remember I was very, I was old enough to witness the Abiola trials and all that. And I remember there was a matter, I think, that was to come up at the Federal High Court, Kaduna, and there was this idea that Abiola should ask for bail so that he can travel abroad to take care of himself. Some people were whispering to him that when he travels abroad, after treating himself, he should use the opportunity to mobilize international pressure on Abacha. But the Nadeko people said no, that he should not, because the bail was going to be conditional. So they said no, he should reject it, that he should insist on a conditional bail. So all of that, if you remember, there was a period that nobody heard anything about Abiola. I think about 3 years.
3 years.
Nobody heard anything about Abiola. And his health was worsening while in custody. So we must be very careful. It has taught me a big lesson about Nigerian politics. And I'm sad that a lot of young Nigerians cannot, see the forest for the trees, that they cannot smell the coffee, to understand that June 12 was actually the biggest scam played on Nigerians, both by IBB and all the people who benefited from it.
Well, so Abiola was incarcerated from around 1994 to 98 when Abacha died on June 4th or June 8th.
Yeah.
I think he died June 8th.
Yeah, 98.
He died June 8th.
June 8th.
It was the year, a harvest of big debts. Because it was after Chief Obafemi Awolowo was on previously, then Fela, then Abacha, then MKO. Well, I was a teenager in junior secondary school that time, and schooling away from Lagos. But what I remember of those days was there seemed to be a lot of hope when people hear that campaign. I don't know.
The 1993 campaign.
Yes, MKO Kingibe.
MKO is our man.
I don't know.
MKO!
Both of you are making me.
He's our man.
Both of you are making me look old.
Sir, regardless of. We are millennials.
There are people who have relegated our millennials to millennial status. So anyway, at the time, what I felt then was that Nigeria seemed hopeful. Like something good was coming.
Of course.
That's why he called it Hope 93.
I didn't even know all of it, but I know that whenever that, I don't know if it was Sonny Nage, that voice is Sonny.
MKO, it's our man.
It was done by Insight now.
So like I said, that same voice for me sang for that bank that turned 100 at the time. I don't want to mention it. So, but eventually I became a student of political science.
I read about the stories.
Both the BSc and the higher degree. And then, but those are by the side. My point is, in law, certain confessions is admittance that can stand as evidence for conviction. So, I don't know why within...
Trouble they sleep.
Yes, that's where I'm going. I don't know why within that hall, we had IBB read his admittance, irrespective of pointing at Sani Abacha.
Yes.
Falana had authoritatively told us that it was he, the head of state at the time, that signed the
because it was incarcerated.
So those are theories we can build on.
Yes.
Now, thirdly, it was a crime to have annulled an election you declared was free and fair. Those are cases to build. Abiola went to jail alive and returned dead in the coffin.
Very sad. You know? Very sad.
And then where is the case of Alhaja Kudirat Abiola
who was assassinated?
Such gruesome murder. Assassination.
Well, the claims that Kudirat was murdered under Abacha's regime. Go ahead, sir.
Well, she was shot by Sadia Rogers.
Yes, he admitted.
So, and then IBB had said to underscore the credibility of the election, appendixed to this book are results of the election.
He even declared election results.
And we know that before the death of Professor Humphrey Mosu, this authenticity had been muted years ago.
True.
So I would think that from that place,
somebody would just throw conflicts on him.
Or a subpoena inviting him to court to, and then the process would have. Then I saw all of them
clapping,
applauding, beginning with our commander-in-chief and all the security apparatus, National Assembly, the judiciary, law. So I'm wondering, is this an insult to the entire masses?
Not only is it an insult, right? Professor Oshibajo mentioned at the book launch, you know, and he said it jocularly, right?
I wonder why nobody picked that up.
He said it jocularly. I'm sure that they picked it up because I saw that the president's laugh was
breathless.
Was sort of he wasn't a very happy or hearty laugh.
It's a mirthless,
you know. And Prof said and he used President Tinubu's example that he was senator, he went on exile, now he's sitting with his tormentors. So in conclusion, I just want to agree with Juror Emeka, do not die in their wars. In this Tinubu's Tishegi now, have I not been just quiet or just watching from the side that they'll be pushing you on like the activists of those days, the Bekor and some Kutis, the fellas. When you are picked up like that, the attack till tomorrow, we're still asking where is he? You know, somebody who used to criticize in Kaduna State was picked up. His wife told us the officials who picked him. They agreed that they picked him. The very next day, they say, oh, he's no longer, he's not with us. So until today, many years after, he hasn't been found. Don't die in their wars.
Let me just quickly shape this in 1992, I fell into a smelly gutter in Oriri Egomo. While we not go green, we not go green. The military started shooting. You know, near my, around that really, we were running. I just stepped on one plank on the gutter. The plank gave way, and I saw myself inside the gutter up to my neck. You know, okay, I just imagine what could have happened
if you died.
People were shot that day. People were shot dead that day.
Wow.
You know,
it could even be that while you were submerged, bullet would have passed the level you were.
Yes,
you know,
and there were killings. I saw people killed.
Sir,
I saw people shot.
It is official. It is official that during the June 12 protests, right, innocent citizens running away were shot dead. Over 200.
Yes.
It is official. So that his tormentees are now laughing with IBB. We the citizens are not laughing at all.
I hope there will be some divine retribution.
There was a distortion of Nigeria's destiny from a productive cause.
Hopefully, this case is not going to die very soon. Femi Falana has gone to court. We'll be watching what happens. When we return, Juror Emeka Madunagu will speak on the need for pressure on government to abate import policies. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
You're welcome back. My case, import and die. Africa's richest man, Aliko Dangote, on Wednesday, February 26, 2025, further reduced the price of petrol sold by his Dangote refinery to 826 naira in Lagos and 860 naira in far-flung areas. There are indications that the price may dip further in his bid to frustrate the importation of gasoline and other petroleum products. This is the same thing he did to stop the importation of cement into Nigeria many years ago under the Obasanjo administration. That's why his claims to having the capacity to meet Nigeria's fuel needs. Importation has still continued unabated. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited that promised to invest heavily in Dangote refinery later reduced it. NNPC chose to revive the refineries in Warri and Port Harcourt, even as there were insinuations that it was also still importing petroleum products. NNPC denied the allegation of importing petrol recently, saying it was buying substantially from Dangote refinery. Importers have already started lamenting their potential losses as they fear that Dangote will push down its price further. My verdict: it has come to a point where Nigerians must press the government to take hard decisions. One of such is that it must adopt the decision of the Obasanjo administration to stop the importation of cement. The price of Brent crude has remained steadily in the $70 range. United States President Donald Trump had, before his election, said he would push for an oil price within the $60 band. Nigeria must make judicious use of the Naira for crude policy. Importers of petroleum products should begin to look for other businesses to do.
Oga Dangote, God will bless you. God, to be very honest, if they say that the Nigerian cabal is tripotent, Dangote is one leg.
Dangote,
but those are two legs. Okay, so both of them together is one leg of the tripod. But even though it's the cabal, you know, what's this President Buhari's cousin's name that died during COVID? The other one, the very fair one, that said, I am the cabal. Dangote is the cabal. But this one, like he did for cement, even though we do not want monopolies, because we think that monopolies normally are what's the word? They're about their profits. They're not about your well-being. Like when there are many people in the game, it will keep on driving the prices down. Dangote having the monopoly on refining has now become competition for NNPC, who is importing, even though they say they are not. You will find that at the NNPC stations, there are no cars by where Dangote is selling. I will no longer mention the name, because now those filling stations, you go there, the queues are very long. And it's true, I tried it. The thing works. Buy Dangote refined petrol. It lasts longer. It's not as flammable as the ones they are importing or they are mixing in Malta for us, you know. But the fact that there's small respite, you know, from 900 and something naira to 820 something naira, we're happy for what Dangote is doing. The economy is hard enough for us. But I hear that the real cabal are still holding Dangote by the jugular, meaning that 820 kini concept, if they allow him, he will take it way below that. You know, I beg, help us. But again, you cannot beg businessmen who have a monopoly of an industry not to profiteer as they have always done.
No, but you can. You can actually push them. You know,
I wanted to beg them
to allow their conscience to guide them.
Do they have conscience?
Well, in this case, the rationale for business is profit maximization.
But not profiteering.
I'm coming, but it's a shame that Dangote is in competition with 3 refineries and winning. Yes, he has just one. We have in Port Harcourt, Warri, and Kaduna. And some of them smacks of moribund houses.
They're moribund.
And we have people effectively getting salary for bearing the tag NNPC staff. I ask, that salary is for what? Because lately,
for being on government payroll.
For reporting to the office.
For being on government payroll.
No, for reporting to the office.
What was that the NNPC chief? What was his name?
Melekari.
In the wake of Dangote's entrance, reads out what costs fuel will sell in different
region.
That part of what makes him get high salary.
But that agreement has failed.
My point is.
But if Mele Kyari is even presiding over NNPC PLC, should there still be regulators?
That's why.
Should he be telling his competition the price at which to sell?
I'm saying that. Look, like the late Nigerian ambassador to the United States, the late Professor George Obiozor, once said that any day he wakes up and he sees in the papers that Nigerian big men are fighting, that he rejoices. He says, thank God. Because when they are fighting, he prays that something good will come out for the people.
True.
So he said, look, always pray that these big men fight. And I'm telling you, I'm praying for a big fight that will lead to petrol getting down to 500 naira per liter.
Can it not go down to 400?
You know,
it's gradual.
It's gradual, but at least, even if it is 500, because they are buying naira for
even this one now that is 100 naira different, it's a huge relief.
I agree.
When you check your margin.
I agree.
Where cars you feel tanks at 12,000-13,000 in the days of yore are now in 50,000-60,000 margin.
Look, just a few years ago, this same car that I'm now filling up with
52,000,
just a few years ago, I used to fill it up with 3,000, then 5,000.
And now?
It's 52 now.
So you have grown bigger.
Ewo.
No, but it's an interesting thing. I was with some young guys, you know, they're into this.
These salaries have not really grown faster.
You still feel it to the
they're into this ride-hailing business, you know, and they were talking about, one of them was saying that some guys were lucky, they were able to make a change, you know, they were able to get this CNG in their cars. I said, with this fuel thing,
should we not
this fuel adjustment that, you know, that from here to, where did he say from here to Abuja and back or something, that CNG will run your vehicle very well, but you should have like 10,000 naira fuel. So I was now looking at it that is a good proposition for young guys, Gen Zs, you know, who are unemployed.
Yeah.
If you discount for kidnapping and insecurity, sincerely speaking, you know, it's not a Gen Z to just sit at home doing nothing.
Find a car, convert to CNG.
Yes, or even a recent car, you know, maybe a Sienna or so, you know, I mean, remove convert to CNG and all of that, it will still have a fuel tank, and that's big business for you. So while the cabals, the big men are fighting, you know, you are making money in between.
You know, one of the books by Cyprian Equincy is Revealers of Secrets. So in this fight, secrets are
being revealed.
Secrets are being revealed.
And we hope more are revealed because as we are now, the economy is not smiling.
At all. T-Shageo.
Well, we just hope that Nigerians will wake up and, you know, begin to agitate for things.
We have been agitating, sir. We just told you how they were shooting agitators dead.
Yeah, but you have your pen. Shoot. Yeah, we are shooting here.
We are shooting here.
Shoot everywhere. Shoot on social media.
We are shooting.
You know, I shoot with prayers too. Not a Pabios type of prayers, anyway. All right. When we return, Juror Innocent Aduluba will speak on the leadership crisis in the Lagos State House of Assembly. Please stay with us.
Welcome back to the Middlemen of Jurors on Enterprise TV. My case, Meranda, Lagos House and security aids. One of Nigeria's premium newspaper, The Punch, has reported that as of the morning of Thursday, February 27, 2025, security details attached to the Lagos State House of Assembly Speaker, Mrs. Mojisola Meranda, as well as police officers guarding the House of Assembly, have been withdrawn. This means that Meranda was now vulnerable. All the Speaker's security aids have been withdrawn. All the security aids attached to the House of Assembly have also been withdrawn, the source said, lamenting that the Speaker is now vulnerable. The Chief Press Secretary to Meranda, Segun Ajiboye, confirmed the latest in a short message on Thursday, accusing former Speaker Obasa and his team of allegedly breaking into the office. The Assembly has been embroiled in leadership crisis since Obasa's removal as Speaker and subsequent election of Meranda. My verdict. Was there any need to strip Speaker Meranda and the House of Assembly of their security aids?
This is your verdict that you're asking us questions. Should you not be telling us?
You should be telling us.
You should be telling us now.
Looking for answers.
If
you ask me,
you go ask
them. Juror Innocent. We know that Lagos politics is a cult. One.
Cloak and dagger politics.
The books have never been open for 25, going on 27 years. Never. It's like, which company do you have that do not even open their books, not to talk of a whole state? Secondly, Obasa, since I became old, has been a speaker. They say, oh yes, he was just a member of the house for some years. Since me, I knew him. He has been a speaker.
They've been Oloribe Mamora, they've been Ikuforiji.
I didn't know them.
It's only Obasa you knew.
Benny. Although Mamora is my friend. But the truth about Lagos State politics is that from the AD to the AC to ACN and now APC, it's been done like it's a monarchy of some sort. Democracy in their party system is not really democratic. It's whatever is said from top.
So it's a dynasty structure.
Yes. There's a monarchical structure in place, and it's not for those of us outside to go and tell them how to do it. What we can is, and most of their elections is always 20/20. Since President Obasanjo disallowed the 37 newly created local governments, and they became LCDAs under Governor Tinubu, now President. It's always been 20/20. The 20 local governments is APC. Maybe once in a while in Okoko, first stack, they will find somebody from another party, but most of the time is APC sweeping the whole assembly, so that they are opposing themselves. It's like how Juremeka said before, when two elephants are fighting, when two big Nigerian politicians are fighting, it's to the merit of the people. Because we have been hearing controversies, what they call them, conspiracies, that some of them are now going to be moving to other political parties. If they do, one, their seats will become empty. Two, if they allow it stand because of whatever happens, or other political parties finally do get into the assembly in 2027, maybe their books will finally be open, and there will be some level of debate that is above the party politicking that has been going on for so long. It's unnecessary. That's not how democracy should run. We should have voices of opposition, in the House of Assembly. But coming to your case, sort of asking why Meranda is now vulnerable. Well, I don't know if it is misogyny, because the Lagos State House of Assembly, they will never have past 7 women, right? That one of them became speaker. I thought that they were trying to show us that we are now
gender inclusion. We
are including women, because the theme for Women's Day 2024 was inclusivity. Maybe they were showing us that this Beijing conference that women have been shouting about, we're now giving you the floor. But why the desperation for Obasa to still hold sway within the house? I thought they had gone to have an APC caucus meeting where they agreed Obasa is gone, Meranda is gone, they will now have elections for a new speaker. I think we should allow peace reign. It's the same political party. They should just settle their matters in-house and leave us that are undergoing Tishigi alone.
I have 2 takes on this matter. One, this has shown that it is actually the Tinubu presidency that is vulnerable. If, as president, Tinubu cannot simply call his people, after holding on to Lagos politics, since 1999, Tinubu cannot simply call his people and sit them down and appeal to them as sitting president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who is he going to appeal to for 2027? Who? It shows that actually
superior argument.
It shows that actually he deserved to be beaten by Peter Obi in 2023. In 2023 presidential election. Yes, that he just sitting on a house of in cards, that there is no substance to it. If Obasa went to court to challenge his impeachment, he has a call for an accelerated hearing. At the same time, Obasa has now resorted to self-help, which is going to be defeated by the court. So what it means is that you cannot use moral suasion as the leader of the party in the whole of Nigeria. You cannot, as in definitely, or definitely say that, look, I want Obasa or I don't want Obasa. You held a meeting with the Governor's Advisory Council and other people some days ago, where you laid out, you said, okay, that you are bothered about, a man succeeding Meranda. That, okay, is there any woman from Lagos West? They now told you is a Labour Party member who is a first-timer. That's a woman from Lagos West. So they are now considering some other people, one Ikotun, the other one Oshodi, and the rest of them. And then, all of a sudden, Miranda's security aides are withdrawn. Which was a tactic we thought had gone with Obasanjo's era. It was a sign of desperation because, one, Obasanjo was an outsider in Nigerian politics. Remember, he was in prison. Yep. During Abacha's time. Yep. So he was facing the hangman when, by divine providence, he came out. So it was just that the military, chose to put Obasanjo in power. Babangida. So, so the withdrawal of security aids and all was all, something we thought had gone with the military. Anyway, no, with Obasanjo. Militarized democracy. Now, Obasa breaking into saying that I have come back to take what is mine. What is his? So what it tells you is that the Tinubu presidency has not risen beyond the ordinary partisanship. You know what Erufai said the other day? Base level. Base level politics. Talking about Omoluabi and Agbero.
Anyway, but why I'm asking this?
No, which is a certain. Because if Lagos, as regarded as a center of excellence, does not have Omoluabis, yes, cannot actually, the leaders cannot actually decide that. Like, if you want Obasa back, why? It should be the president's prerogative. Why did you remove him in the first instance? In the first instance. Look, this whole thing. His removal ought to stand. If they had good basis, they did it legally. This thing is. It was not legally. It's a huge dent on Tinubu's presidency. And let me tell you something. With what is going on in the north and the nonchalance of the south, of the southeast and the south, it will be difficult for him, because I don't know. Sir, let's not argue this thing now. Did he win this or that one?
Let's leave that. My position is this: in the back and forth of Obasako, what is the offense of Speaker Meranda to be stripped of her?
But we have spoken about it. It's desperation.
Secondly,
it's desperation to hold on to power.
Used to be
center of excellence.
Yes. I think they are losing or have lost that template nationwide. That house that people look up to. And like you said, there have been nuances, loud whispers that perhaps Lagos stabilizes when President Tinubu is nearby. Abuja may have been now. Did they not lose Lagos State to Peter Obi? I'm talking of the Lagos House of Assembly. I'm saying and their operationalism. Their presidential. President Tinubu was president of Lagos for many years after being governor and holding Lagos State. So he was governor and president. Yes, because after being governor, he's the one. He was a country unto himself. Lagos would have been a country in 18. Unto himself. He was the one putting in governors. He nearly removed Fashola from his second term. Ambode said, they don't want you, and Ambode is gone. Now, isn't it his Omoluabi? Let me just say it like that. That is governor. So that he lost his country during presidential elections. It says a lot. Somebody in his party at the time was saying that
he used Lagos State as a wager for him to step, because there are things that you have to do to hold on to your you know, by the time you're now looking without because you want to step onto the national stage, you lose sight of some of those things. That's what this is indicative of.
And it only shows that, oh my, it's, you know, it doesn't speak well
at all.
No, but it's also sad that at a time APC is imploding, none of the oppositions we can point as standing strong to counter them.
No, it's
How
not
many
about
oppositions
it's not
are
about,
in Lagos State House?
all politicians, are they not the same thing? It's just interesting that, you know, P2B has to play it cool. You know, but let me tell you, it's
what would Peter Obi have done with Lagos State House of Assembly? That newcomer, the LP person, because Ikeja were not having it at all.
No, you know, Labour Party would have swept Lagos if not for the way they used to. If the governorship election had happened, governorship and House of Assembly had happened
on the same day of federal government. That's why you did not see the desperation. One, they came out guns blazing.
On the day of the governorship election, and I was chased away.
If you are Yoruba and you look Igbo self, then we chase you away. Aside from that, the night and the weeks before, the elections were postponed the night before because it was supposed to be 2 weeks after the presidential. Once they saw they lost, they postponed for 1 week. Then the desperation with which they were calling to beg, to cajole, to we know we have offended you, please though. They came out guns blazing. They would have lost.
You know, my other take is that I don't pity Sanwo-Olu. If he's impeached in all of this, and it serves him well. Because of what they did in the 2020 election. You know, the election was just
2 years ago.
Just 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So if he's impeached, so be it. I cannot.
That's if Obasa just take back his seat, right?
Well, I don't know. Whatever they decide to do, but I know this whole thing will end up in the courts. But this has severely and irreparably hurt Tinubu's power base.
Okay. When they end up in the court, I hope Nigeria doesn't happen to them.
That's the much we can take today. We have come to the end of this inspiring episode. Please do well to like, comment, and subscribe to Enterprise TV 7 across all social media handles. Our website is www.enterprisetvnews.com. Until we come your way again on the Middlemen of Jurors. Take care and God bless Nigeria. Bye.